Alrighty, we're back. I can see what is on the screen. Thank you very much for your patience and waiting for me to get my shit sorted out. Thank you so much. Alex O'Crypto here. We're back after technical difficulties. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Otter Gang. Let's get into it. Hard day of work. A bit tired today, but we're getting to the charts. We're giving you what we got, what we're looking at, and where we think the price is going to go. Get that coffee into you. Let's get into the charts. We're looking at the weekly here. Now, very, 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 very interesting weekly. Now, we're starting to engulf the previous candle, which is a very, very bearish sign. Very bearish. So, can this continue? We had this blue triangle that we were talking about that says reversal all over it. Did we get into the short? Well, we're currently in a short. We did not get a short at the top, but we're currently in a scalp short, up about 20%, if I'm not wrong. So, everything is going all right. Hey Hayden, how's it going? Thank you for joining us. Shout out to you. We had a bit of technical difficulties, but we're getting back into the charts. We're all set up now, rearing to go. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Now, has Bitcoin been setting up for this FOMC interest rate that's coming out? Possibly. Is it setting up for a bigger push? Is it retracing now? These are one of the things I'm looking into. So let's get into the daily charts. Now, we were saying for the past couple of days that, hey, watch out. We got the red dot, and is it going to confirm on the 3-day time frame? And it has confirmed. So we do have the red dot on the 3-day, which can bring us down, right? Which can mean that we might curl over here and continue the curl here and switch into maybe challenge the 0 line right here on the 3-day. This is something I've been watching for the past couple of days, actually week or so, just to see if we would get this red dot just like we did on the 2-day, because the 2-day had printed, right? We got these extreme wicks up here, and we can see that we're starting to curl over. Money flow is still pretty thick, but VWAP continues to trend down as well. So these are some bearish signs as well, saying that we're exhausted, saying that, you know what, we're pretty much due for a retrace. Now, everybody is getting scared because one thing that I've been reading is this guy, Caleb Franzen. Now, I follow Caleb Franzen. You can see at the top here on Twitter, right? And he does many, many reports, and I find that his technical analysis is very, very thorough, and he does a good job of it. He's on around the blockchain every now and then. So go check out Caleb Franzen, another person, and he says, investors can interpret this in 2 ways. The market is getting ahead of itself. 1, the market is getting ahead of itself and getting too exuberant. Investors are taking on excessive risks despite negative forward-looking economic data, historical elevated inflation, and Federal Reserve that continues to tighten monetary policy. This has gone too far, and the market is due for a correction. And number 2, nature is healing after a disastrous year in 2022. Sector and market rotations are a natural function of the market, and investors are putting their money where their mouth is by moving into their highest conviction investments. Because the market is forward-looking, it only takes less worse news for the market to move higher and start to improve. See March and April 2020. So, for me personally, I've remained a bear. I'm not trying to be a perma bear. I am bullish on Bitcoin. I am bullish on crypto for the long term, but I don't think that the inflation is fully priced in. I don't think there's been enough pain. I do see this correcting later on in the year, so I do believe this might be a dead cat bounce or some sort of relief rally that we are due a retracement. Now, I've seen people post, can we see 19K? Can we see all these other things? Well, that is a possibility. There's always a possibility for more downside and extreme upside with Bitcoin because it is volatile. This is why we like it, because there can be huge gains, but also with huge gains comes good risk and can be huge losses as well. So right now, people who've been on the phone calling for the pump, well, you might have gotten stopped out a couple times, right? And people who have been revenge trading, they might have gotten stopped out a couple of times or lost their trades. So we try to keep level-headed. I just want to remind you that you guys are my significant otter, and you guys are the reason why we do this. So if you wouldn't mind, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join us in the Discord where we're constantly updating and looking for trades and setups to help you be a more profitable trader. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you. Keep coming to the channel, keep helping us grow, and we will keep providing you with as much as we can throughout this time. So let's zoom in to the daily, and the daily is clearly on a much steeper downtrend, but it's not as steep as what brought us up. So this can be maybe a rollover. So I was talking to a friend in the Discord, and he was saying, check the 23 and 24 days. So we're going to do that for him because he said they're drastically different. Was it 20? It was 23 hours. I'm sorry. Let's get these off. See, I even added them, and I am tired, so bear with me. Let's go to the hours. Let's add 23, and let's add 24. All right? And now let's go and look at them. So he said they were drastically different. So we got money flow thick as thick on the 23, right? Thick as thick on the 23. We have some sort of bearish. Is this higher highs, lower lows? Not yet, lower lows. So this is kind of a bearish divergence. We have a red X continuation, which can bring us down as well, especially on the higher time frames. They are much stronger on the higher time frames. And now let's go over, take this image, right? If you can't see it, take the image, right? Let me fix this so I can see better. See, this is why I needed to restart the stream. Take this image so you can see this. Now, let's jump over to the 24. Now, how different is the 24? Boom. Oh, my. So, holy smokes, we got curvature and downside. Money flow is thicker, but we did just look at the daily, which is the exact same compared to the 23. So the 23 is giving us much clearer bear divs, but money flow is not as thick as well. I forgot to check the VWAP. VWAP is curving down over here, and then on the 23, it is also, it is curved down. Now it's popping back up. So very different indications. To me, the 23 looks much more bearish than the 24. So I want to get into the finer time frames here. So let's go into the 10 and let's look at what's going on, because we have been brought down. We've had the significant move up, and we have come down, and we've broken this trend line, which I believe to be somewhere around here. If we look throughout here, if I could pull this, right? This was kind of our trend line somewhere around here. That was keeping us afloat, that we were following. Let's steepen it up. And we can see that this trend line has been broken to the upside, right? We've been bouncing off of it all the way up, and boom, we're through it. Now we're getting to a very serious part on the chart, and that is the value area low, and we have bounced off the point of control. So let's look at that now. So I'm going to jump into the 2 hour. I'm going to pull up some levels. First, I will pull my fixed range volume profile from the side here. Let's go straight across, and we can see that we have bounced off of this point of control here, and now we are continuing our way down, but we've also come down and bounced off our value area low, where these wicks seem to live from before. So what does this mean? If we are getting rejected at the point of control and we are getting pushed down, I see more continuation downwards. Hence why I am in a short currently. Now let's go over and check this short, because it is basically from the top of this range here. So I am currently in a short from here with a stop loss pretty tight. All right. I am more of a scalper, so it will be something like this, and this can run as long as it wants, but I will take profits probably around somewhere down here. and then see where the rest of the trade goes. We had the red blood diamond, but in the short term, I am following the trend and hoping for more downside, but this doesn't mean we can't get a pop back up, right? It doesn't mean that we can't get a pop back up. When I zoom in here, I see that this is more, to me, a setup, right? So we're setting up for maybe more upside. This could be a healthy retracement. Some people are calling already for 19K. Now, I wouldn't get too excited. I'd wait for more confirmation of a lower low. So something like this, if we can get below here and flip this to a level of resistance, punch through this level of support, flip it to resistance, and then continue downwards, right? These are the signs that I'm always constantly looking for. Is think of it as floors and ceilings, right? So support and resistance, and we've got to break through and flip them, just like an apartment building or anything like that. So right now we are in this range of this apartment building. There is another range down here, right, that we can see, and this one that we're currently in right here, right? Kind of a gap in the middle because we had such a quick move, right? So for me to continue, I would like to see this. I add to a short here, and then hopefully it can continue downwards. So we're looking for signals to let us know where's price going to go. Now, when we look at my market cipher on the 4, 5, and 6, to me, obviously we've had numerous amounts of bear divs and money flow slowly coming out of this huge move. You can see it curving over throughout this whole time. It's curved over, and now it's gotten its way back down closer to the zero line, right? Same with on the lower time frames. 4, we're still thick in the green, but we're starting to come close to the zero line, which is bearish and which would be healthy for the price action. Even if we continue upwards, it's still healthy to have a retrace because price can't just move straight up as it has in the past, week or so. If we look at this, this has been an extreme move. We've been held down by the otter up here, but this has been an extreme move. Anything to retrace and come back would be healthy. So what are my levels? What are my support and resistance? Well, here we are, right? We have this rejection zone that we came up to once and twice, and now we've been rejected. Now we've had this marked out on our charts even before we came up the first time. So make sure to follow and subscribe to this channel because we're constantly giving you guys levels and areas for you guys to trade. Now, obviously, we are trending in between this area right here, right? And our next level of support would be down here around the 21,500 area. So, what are my thoughts right now? Currently in a short, currently waiting for price to do more action. But what do we have to be aware of? What is coming up? And if you don't know, what's coming up is the interest rate hike. Or not, right? Interest rate hike, is it going to go up or is it going to come even, right? So they're expecting 0.25 basis point hike, which is typically bullish. Everybody's calling for this, but it is bullish, which means typically Bitcoin will pump, right? It will pump. If it's bullish news, it will pump, even though overall an interest rate hike is not that, it shouldn't be that bullish. It shouldn't, right? So this has basically been happening 7 times in a row, right? 7 times in a row. That's why we've seen such a crash in the markets, and that's why there hasn't been much of a rally to relieve us of all this downside. So my thinking is that even if we only come in at a certain level, especially 0.25 or even maybe 0, we will get a bit of a pump. Now, with what has happened in the past day with price retracing, is this to set us up so that we do not get above this 25K that everybody's talking about? Does this set us up so that, even though that we're down here, even with a big move, we can't get above this 25K, and it continues to keep us in this range for the long term? This could be a play. This could be a play to protect us right now from getting above here. Because we know, because we've been talking about it, that if we get above 25K, we're up to 30. There's a very big volume gap between 25 and 28K, right? So we know this. The markets know we know this, right? We're not fooling anybody. We're not like discovering secret TA that, we're going to trick the people who are moving these markets. What we're trying to do is extract profits from these people by having a plan and idea and using capital preservation and good risk management. That's all we can do, right? Unless we're moving charts, right? Which we aren't. So, short term, patience. Patience, trade the ranges. Trade the ranges, respect the ranges, look at the ranges, mark them out on your chart, get an idea of how price is going to behave, right? We have this one here. Can we flip this up to this resistance? Can we continue along this support, right? So we're looking to trade the ranges however it allows us to trade them, right? But be careful, right? Be careful because we have news. Be careful because right now there's a lot of volatility, which is fun to trade, but it can wreck a lot of people, right? We can't be guessing out here. We got to use strong TA and good market sentiment and confluences throughout. So let's pull a fib. Let's look at the charts and let's see where we can come up to if we are going to retrace fully. So we have a new high and we have a new low. So in the short term, watch this area here in the middle around 23,100, right? This is a very key level. Obviously, you can see we bounced here, but also know that there's another golden pocket up here around 23,400. How are we doing in the chat? Did we all make it back? Did we all make it back? Shout out to you guys. I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry, but the crypto wars and Alex's war with the computer has begun. Me and Yoda are going to have some words with OBS Studio because it totally faked me out. Just like the markets are trying to fake us all out. So what are we looking for? How are we feeling? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for always supporting this channel and being part of the Otter Gang and all of the fun Discords. Shout out to all of you guys. Otter Gang, the fallen one. Yo, yo, yo. Otter, otter, otter. Amazing. So, what can we look for? What's up, Dale? How we doing? Shout out to you, Dale. Dale Edgecombe in the chat. Are you guys looking at anything? I know that Thesis himself, good friend of the channel, threw up some ADA, TA. He's got this rising wedge here. He believes that if it breaks out of this rising wedge, that we could see a big move to the downside. So remember, check ADA, look at the wedge. Maybe you can trade this breakdown if it falls through. Could be a juicy, juicy, juicy trade all the way back down, right? If we look at this, this can be nice, right? A nice trade for ADA if it drops. But right now, we are waiting for news because this week is going to be volatile as it has. So, what are we going to do? We're going to go over and get some confluence. First, we're going to get confluence from the S&P 500. S&P 500. All right. So the S&P 500 has dumped, right? Very similar to Bitcoin, but we have this key level trend line has been broken. Are we going to come back in? Are we going to fake out of it? Right? We've had these arrows on our chart for quite some time. We're coming back into this trend line. Are we going to bounce off the trend line? Well, let's go down to the shorter time frames. Let's go down to the 2 hour. Let's look. Well, it looks pretty much going down, right? It looks like it's going down. To me, that's down, right? The Dixie for Confluence has been pumping finally, right? We've been calling the Dixie. It's been going sideways. The American dollar has been going sideways. Well, we're finally getting a wee little pump here, right? This is curving over. Money flows curving over. VWAP's coming up, right? That's pretty bullish, which means it's bearish for Bitcoin, right? Ace, what time is the news? Well, Ace, if you go on tradingeconomics.com/calendar, right? Up here, you can put in your time zone. Australia is +11. UK is break even. And I believe it's -5 or +5 for Eastern Standard Time. So the time will vary. Right? I will put it up. I will at everybody in the Discord when it comes on for me, which will be the same for you wherever you are. So I will be letting you guys know. At my time, I believe it's at 6 a.m. Yep, 6 a.m. on a Thursday. So good morning on a Thursday. Fed inflation, right? Watching the markets do a little bit of woohoo, right? So these are things to watch. Yo, I think I was watching some other live and it was hurting my brain because the charts did not match. Well, Steve Brewberry, I don't know why the charts wouldn't match, but that's not that would hurt my brain as well, man. That would definitely hurt my brain as well. Oh, I don't have the capacity to be doing that. Today, I worked a hard day swinging doors. I'm a carpenter by trade. And, you're working on the door. You're planing down the door. You're getting the perfect 3 mil reveal, making it all nice. But you're also thinking about crypto. And you're like, damn, I wish I caught that trade. Damn, I wish I shorted it there, right? But the best part is that we didn't FOMO in, right? We didn't FOMO in. We didn't get all rage mode and be like this guy and punch the computer. He was watching another video and he got all confused. Welcome back, Steve. Hopefully our charts match up with your charts. But can we get some relief? We were talking about this. We went through the 23 hours, Steve, just for you, just so you know. We went through it all, and it is very much different to the daily. Just so we know that. It's very, very different. That's confusing, isn't it? You confused me with that one. I'm going to stay away from the 23 hours because, it's just, look at the VWAP difference. It's so... Anyways, I'm going to stay away from that, right? But on the long term, let's remember that we have, so far, a weekly engulfing candle. We have some bearish signs showing and rearing their heads. So we have to be careful here. We have to be careful because this has been such a quick move down. A quick, 6% is a good move, right? This doesn't mean that we're already... The 23 is a trip. Yeah, man. So I get back. You say check the 23. I'm looking at it and then checking it to the daily. I'm like, okay, I'll stay away from this. Oh, red X printed. So we got a red X flashing on the 18, right? This is pretty bearish. Do we got a nice retracement level here? Ooh-wee. Do we got confluence with volume? Let's pull it from this candle. Volume gap. Nope. See, this is how you get that confluence, right? You're not going to look to trade this golden pocket. You're going to look to trade the 786 here. Right? Simple confluence, right? Even if we go down to the 8, right? Simple confluence. Yeah, you have a level of support here, right? Where do I have that? Where do I have the levels? Let's look at the level. Well, the level's a bit high now, wouldn't you say? So let's bring it down a little bit. Let's look for a wick a little bit lower, right? Money flow still pretty thick, man. Unlike the 8 hour, the 10 hour, money flow is very thick. It is starting to come down, but it's still pretty thick, which is still bullish, right? Which is still bullish. This could be a move making room for a bullish sign with the interest rate hike, right? With the interest rate hike. You can see how much room this has created now that we've come down a bit, right? We've stayed out here, but if we get a huge bullish sign, we're coming right back up and filling this up, right? So be aware, be careful, right? Because news will move this market quite a bit. And it looks like we've been stalling just up at the top here, and also we have this double top, but this was a pretty strong move, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, it dropped on us. So be very cautious with how you're going to trade this. Me, right now, I've been trading it just scalping away. Haven't been taking any serious long-term swing trades or anything like that. Not that I swing trade quite often, but if I do get a good setup, I will hold the trade longer than a couple of days. So we're getting a move up right now. Not a massive one. Because we do have the point of control right up here. If we zoom out on the 1 hour, we do have a point of control like we showed at the beginning of the stream. So we could come back up and touch this point of control. Right now, the way volume is working, I don't see us pushing through it. Maybe we'll tap it and flip it to support. That could be a bullish sign, right? Money flows back into the red, into the purple. Make sure to go check out this guy, Caleb Franzen. A lot of good stuff on his channel. Hope we're all well. Sorry about the technical difficulties earlier. Just want to apologize. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Sometimes I'm rushing to get the stream out in order to be on time for the live at 5, Trying to be punctual. It is hard. I get home around 4 o'clock after work, and I'm shower, coffee, set up stream, make thumbnail. So I hope I know you guys appreciate it. Just my view right now is to remain aware that we have the news coming, right? The 5 hour looks, well, you got VWAP curving up quite steep here on the 5 hour. That's very aggressive. You can see maybe that the peak is going to curl over, right? With these peaks, the white peak on the market cipher on here is the leading indicator. The gray kind of follows behind. So if this starts to curve and move back up, then you can see which way price is going to tend to go, right? Can always switch back, right? But it'll lead the way on these indicators. 4 hour kind of curving back around, right? So same with this, is bouncing off the 0. The VWAP is bouncing off the 0. Money flow is looking to come into the red on the 3. On the 2, we are crossing over. We're staying stagnant on the VWAP. We did get a green dot, but no power, no volume, right? No volume. It doesn't matter how many dots you give me. If we got no volume, we're not moving, right? We're not moving without volume. On the shorter term time frames before tomorrow, right, I'd be looking for us to stay in this range, trade them up and down, and trade the range, right? With the RSI, with the market cipher, I think I've shared in the Discord just a brief PDF image of the RSIs. But you can see when they get farther apart, right? When they get farther apart, the red / green part of this is stochastic, and then so the red you can see it, and then it turns green. This is the regular RSI. So the blue one is the regular RSI, and then the red green one is the stochastic combined, right? So when they start to get further apart, you can see you get bigger moves, right? When they are close together, you see continuations of moves, right? So you can see that they're getting further apart here. Before this move, they were getting really tight, and then boom, they moved, right? And you can see how tight they were on our way up. So they were further apart back here, further apart, and then boom, they've been tight ever since we moved that huge move up, right? I don't use the RSI that much on Market Cipher. I do have an RSI on my trading view on my exchange, just as a quick reference, right? So we're getting a little bit of a pushback right now. Can we come up? That is the question. Remember, we have the point of control. Be patient out there, my friends. Be patient. What I would be looking for the most right now is to get myself into a good position for a long. The further apart seems kind of bullish. No. Yeah, so it depends. It depends on, I think, the trend, right? So it's the zero line is oversold, right? And the top line up here is overbought, right? So you can see overbought comes up here, bang, overbought, right? Then it flips to red, it dumps back down, right? Then you can see as it comes down here, oversold, right? So this is kind of an in-between. This is like an RSI box right here. This is your RSI box. Now the 5 hour. 1 second. Yeah, so you're oversold on the 5 hour. You're flat. You haven't totally curved up. But yes, this being far apart is bullish because you're so oversold over here, right? And this is starting to curl up. So if this starts to go this way and this starts to go this way, which doesn't draw very well on here, does it? But if they if they start to curl up and move closer together, very bullish sign, right? Very bullish sign. Agreed. This is a hammer candle too, right? Big hammer candle. Thor's in the house, ready to go bullish on us, right? Hammer candle, doji, hammer, right? Very bullish. Same with these ones here. Exhaustion, right? Exhaustion to the downside, pushing price upwards. So they do seem very bullish. I agree completely. All right, so I'm going to jump into the Discord. About to have dinner. Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate all your questions and your insight, and that 23-hour confusing the crap out of me. Very good, man. Thank you so much for being such a great part of this community. Thank you to everyone else, Ace and the Fallen One and Dale and everybody else. Hayden, you guys make this community great. It's all about community. It's all about helping each other extract profits from the market, sharing ideas, sharing entries, and trying to help each other grow some bags. So thank you so much. Much love to all you guys. God bless. Take care. We'll talk soon. I'll see you guys tomorrow live at 5. Peace out. Otter Gang out. Take care. Ciao for now.